Great, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I would like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Marla Billinghurst. I will be chairing the panel this morning. My fellow panel members this morning are Mr. Jerry Arnell and Mr. Brent McIntyre. Representing the assessment department is Ms. Sharon Tang, and our administrative personnel this morning is Ms. Phoebe Graywood. We will be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today, and the session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing item number 2 on our docket today. Ms. Graywood, please affirm the assessor's and the applicant's testimony.
Ms. Tang, please state your full name. Sharon Tang. Do you affirm the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. Mr. Reimer, please state your full name.
Henry Rolf Reimer.
Do you affirm the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So as I stated, we will be hearing item number 2 on the docket this morning. It's 7 Evergreen Place. Ms. Tang, please proceed when you are ready.
File number is 24-46.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a minute. There we go.
Okay. File number is 24-4621. The business assess ID is 20007. The address is 7 Evergreen Place. The assessed value for 2025 is $276,540. The total area is 22,870 square foot, and the overall average ARV per square foot is $12.09. The subject is being assessed for an average of $9.39, combined with 3 different areas. And then we add the occupancy cost, and that gives us a total of $276,540. The subject business has a lease in place for $22 per square foot for a gross rent, and the bottom of the page shows the comparable rent, and the second page shows the current lease for the subject property. And that's my presentation.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reimer, do you have any questions for the assessor regarding the presentation?
Yeah, just a couple. Thanks, Madam Chair. So, Ms. Tang, with respect to Are you familiar with the ownership structure and the relationship between Shelter Canadian Properties and the building owner in this case? Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you there. Okay, and you know what? Actually, Madam Chair, that's my only question at this stage. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions for the assessor?
I didn't actually hear Ms. Tang's answer. You familiar, yes or no?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have any questions, thanks.
Thank you. Mr. McIntyre?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. Nor do I. So, Mr. Reimer, please proceed with the presentation when you're ready.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Could we turn initially, please, to page 4 of our submission? So just while the board members and Ms. Tang are turning to that page, these are the offices of Shelter Canadian. They are, and the reason for my question to Ms. Tang was they are affiliated with the owner, and they're the property management company for this building and obviously several others. And these offices are located on the actually starting on the 23rd floor and the floor above that. So they're offices basically within a multifamily tower at the very top of the tower. For complete disclosure, what I will tell the board is that the realty assessment for this property was appealed to this board, and the board made a reduction in the assessment, but not in the commercial component. The reduction that was provided was in the multifamily residential component only. So I wanted to be very clear on that. Notwithstanding that, if you turn to page 5 of our submission, we took a look at, and for the reasons that I talked about with the relationship between the tenant Shelter and the owner, I placed no weight whatsoever on the contract rent in place in this case. I did take a look at the market indicators shown on page 5, and this is for lower quality office space, lower quality suburban and Class C properties. I would certainly, because of location, and I have had a chance to be in these offices, location and quality of finish and such, and particularly because these offices are sort of on their own at the very top of a multifamily tower, I did not believe that they would achieve the rents that the department has applied in this case. I took a look at some of the rents as shown on page 5, ranging from 1068 to 448 a foot. The one rent that's closest in size is index number 5 on Carlton Street. That's the 12,540 feet with a lease start date of October 22 at 744 a foot. So I do note in terms of the size, that's certainly still a lot smaller than the subject premise, but at least getting a little closer to the size. So again, notwithstanding the board's decision concerning the commercial component with the realty assessment, our request this morning for the business assessment for these premises is based on a net rental rate of $750 a square foot, applied to the 22,870 square feet of total space. And then on page 6, we obviously don't dispute occupancy costs, and so you can see on page 6, using the $750 a foot, we come in at a total ARV of $233,220, and that would be my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Tang, do you have any questions for Mr. Reimer?
Yes. So based on the 2025 realty appeal, are you aware that the average square footage that they use for this property for the commercial portion works out to be about $9.69 per square foot?
Is that the department put on it?
That's based on the 2025 realty appeal.
Yeah. No, I'm familiar with the commercial component that was confirmed by the board. So I'll take your average. Ms. Tang, I'll take your average as correct. I didn't calculate it, but that sounds about right.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions for Mr. Reimer?
No questions.
Thank you. Mr. McIntyre?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. Nor do I. Is there a need for summary from either party?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We have heard all the schedule items, and this hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
morning, all.
Morning.
Morning.
Thank you.